I'm Anneli Venter. Welcome to another Tuesday Tidbit presented to you by Regroup Advisors. This video is part of two videos. In the previous video, I covered a brief background about understanding body language in the workplace. In today's video, I will cover clusters of different verbal and non-verbal communication when lying. Verbal communication is all about asserting words to convey meaningful messages and feedback to others in a meaningful manner, like communicating the correct course of action in a matter, feedback on specific matters, giving credit to or disciplining an employee, recognizing or countering objections, and talking to customers. Verbal communication is used to hide aspects of an employee's involvement or to cover up what the employee witnessed in a dishonest act. Liars can project wrongdoing on innocent employees and in an attempt to deviate attention from their dishonest acts. In some cases, like sexual harassment and racism, the employee will accuse an innocent employee for something that the innocent employee did not do, simply to get back at the innocent employee. It is important to consider both verbal and non-verbal communication of those involved to identify clusters of different behaviors. Every situation is unique and should be handled carefully. When in doubt, trust your instinct. When looking at verbal communication, we note that the liar's tone of speech will either rise or fall, and it depends on the culture, and it may also vary from culture to culture. Chinese, for example, have a higher pitch when lying, while Hispanics have a lower pitch. The rate of speech will be fast as the brain has racing thoughts. The share of information is done or must be extracted and is not shared voluntarily. Answers are vague and evasive and not clear. The employee will be talkative about irrelevant issues and less talkative or quiet about real issues. How the employee reacts when posing questions. The employee will say the bare minimum or too much, but the truthful employee will offer more information. The use of rationalization, excuses, and blaming of others. Or the employee can brag about being a good liar. So the employee most probably has been telling lies to colleagues and friends. When looking at non-verbal communication, we note the demeanor or the attitude of the employee. In other words, the way the employee talk, stand, smile or frown, the posture, look, reactions, and movement. The use of eye contact and facial expressions depend on the culture. Especially in the world, the Western world, it's seen as polite to make eye contact. But in other parts of the world, like Japan, Africa, Asia, and Latin America, it's regarded as disrespectful. The use of non-congruent gestures when words do not match what's being said, or a slip of the tongue, or nodding of the head when saying no. And lastly, fidgeting, with either the hands, the nose, the mouth, wiggling of the legs, or developing a sudden cough. These behaviors do not represent a complete list of deceptive behavior. In the end, interpreting both verbal and non-verbal communication is hard to do. It's a skill that needs to be developed. When in doubt, trust your instinct. And that, ladies and gentlemen, has been another Tuesday Tidbit presented to you by Regroup Advisors. Thank you for listening.
If you've enjoyed this episode of Business Plain and Simple Tuesday Tidbits by Regroup Advisors and don't want to miss future topics, well, like and follow us wherever you get your podcast. Interested in learning how Regroup Advisors can help your company? Contact us at info@regroupadvisors.com or online at regroupadvisors.com.